This is from Dogs by Nature. 5 Browns that could be in for performance regressions in 2024. Number 1, they say Za'Darius Smith, signed to a new deal, soon to be 32-year-old, fighting age, less financial motivation to perform well as he did last year. I don't know about the rationale there. Number 2, David Njoku. While it's possible that his growth will continue, Cleveland added Jerry Jeudy, will likely use Jerome Ford and Naheem Hines in the passing game. Nick Chubb's return could also mean less targets for Njoku. Number 3, Shelby Harris. Harris might step in as a starter, but Siaka Ika and Michael Hall Jr. Being added the last 2 drafts could reduce his snap count as well. Turning 33 before the season starts will also have to fight off age decline. Number 4, Amari Cooper. Addition of Jeudy, hopeful development of Cedric Tillman in his second season could lessen Cooper's target share. 1,000-yard season still likely, but 1,250 might be tough to match. And number 5, Dustin Hopkins, despite missing multiple games, had the second most field goal attempts of his career behind 2016 and the highest percentage of makes. It dipped back to the 80% range. Seems likely to a guy that turns 33 on October 1st. The Za'Darius Smith, people always overplay the contract year thing, I think. Za'Darius Smith is still playing next to Myles Garrett. I think that's going to help his production.
Yeah, and I can see a world in which his pressures go down, but his sacks go up because he had an extremely high pressure total and not a high sack rate. Wasn't converting a lot of those into sacks. A lot of that's luck of the draw. A lot of that's another player getting there first, a guy rolling out to the other side. I see that number. I see Za'Darius as getting close to that double-digit number again in sacks. 9 to 11, I think, is probably where he lands. And he might end up with only 60 pressures, which is still an absurd number. So I don't see regression in his future for this season. But when I look at that list, Dustin Hopkins, I could see that. I mean, he was insanely good last year. He was insanely good over 50 yards, which has not been his career. His career is usually up 250. He's excellent and struggles in that. So a regression back to the means to be back in the mid to high 80s percentage wise. I think that's probably more than likely. Njoku, I can't see though. I can't see, like we talked about in the last segment, this team didn't get enough easy yards. Well, who's the easiest guy to get easy yards with? It's David Njoku. And we've seen what happened when the running game faltered over the back half of the season. He was an extension of that just by getting the ball in his hands. Now his average depth of target wasn't high, but his yards after the catch were great. So I seen they had to see the light with what's possible with him, and I can't see him getting any less than 8 targets a game. That would be malpractice in my eyes. The Amari Cooper one, though, I think you could see. I mean, 17.4 yards per catch, 1,250 yards. He could have an excellent season and still fall below those numbers.
Yeah, the one thing I would think is I think, when we hear what people expect from the offense with Ken Dorsey and kind of moving it out, you're going to see motion. Motion is enabled. You want to find an advantage. So Cooper, that's one of the guys you're going to look to. And Njoku is a mismatch. They're going to try to find a way. All right, do you want to put a linebacker on him? Great, he's going to run a seam route. Do you want to put a safety on him? Great, he's going to turn around, catch the ball, and drag him 8 yards. So those two, I think, are going to be close to what they are, just because they're going to look to get the ball in their hands.
Yeah, you lean on your playmakers, and we saw what Njoku was over the back half of the season. I can't see them going away from that. If anything, you lean into that.